Good morning, students. We will continue with the topic to demonstrate the conducting power of different metals. So we are taking 4 different metals, and what are those metals? Copper rod, brass rod, aluminium rod and iron rod. And by using a little melted wax, we are fixing a matchstick to all the 4 rods. Now we are heating the other end of the rod with the help of the burner. So as we are heating, we know the heat is getting transmitted. So one molecule is hitting the other and slowly the heat is getting transferred. So once the heat gets transferred, the wax melts and the matchstick drops off. So by this activity, we can find out different materials have different conductivity. Don't think that all the 4 matchsticks are going to fall at the same rate, at the same time. It is not going to happen at the same time. Each one is going to fall at a different time. The matchstick on copper rod falls first, followed by aluminium, then brass, then iron. So different materials have different conductivity. So by this experiment, we can also say that copper is a very good conductor of heat. Next, most liquids including water are bad conductor of heat. So water is a very bad conductor of heat. Similarly, all gases including air, they do not conduct heat. To show conductivity of water, so what do we require for that? We need to take a test tube containing water. Then we are wrapping an ice cube in the wire mesh. So we are taking a small ice cube, wrapping it in an iron mesh and putting it into the test tube. Next step. Now we are heating the water in the test tube near the top. So you're right at the top, you are heating the water. Then remove test tube from the heat and observe carefully. Do you think, students, the ice would have melted? Let's see. Observation. You will notice that water starts boiling near the top of the test tube, but ice does not melt. See, for the ice to be melted, the heat has to be transmitted, right? Since it is a very bad conductor of heat, the heat is not getting transmitted at a very faster rate. Very slowly the heat is getting transmitted. That's why we see ice does not melt. Water is a poor conductor of heat. Water at the top of the test tube boils before ice at the bottom melts, as ice does not get heat. That's why we see, though the water started boiling on top, but the ice is still intact because it does not get enough heat to melt. Till now we were talking about, or we learnt about, conduction. Next, moving on to convection. It is a method by which heat travels through fluids. So here the heat is able to travel through fluids. Anything that can flow freely is called fluid. Due to their ability to flow, liquids and gases are known as fluids. It's not only liquid that is getting categorized under fluid, but also gases because of their ability to flow. In liquids and gases, transfer of heat takes place by the process of convection. Convection is a process of transfer of heat energy through a substance by actual movement of the substance itself. So, if heat has to be transferred, the substance, that is the water and the gas, they are moving and then the heat is getting transmitted. How convection takes place? When a liquid or a gas is heated, it becomes lighter in weight. So whenever you heat either a liquid or a gas, it becomes light. Because of which what happens? The warmer or volume of a gas or a liquid rises. So when you heat a liquid or a gas, okay, it becomes very light and it rises, while the colder or heavier air or gas descends. It means since it is heavy, the cold air or water is heavy and it descends or it comes down. This process continues till the entire volume is at the same temperature or the condition changes. So what is happening when you're heating a liquid or a gas? First of all, the once the heat is taken in, it becomes light. So because of which it rises to the top, whereas the cold air or gas descends down. It is heavy, so it comes down. Again it gets heated up and again it moves to the top. Again we see that the cold air, the cold air or the cold liquid comes down. Again it gets the heat and again it rises up. So this process continues, okay, if the temperature is maintained or the condition changes. Next, moving on to heat convectors. Heating element of the convector heats up the surrounding air, makes it light. So this is a device, okay, heat convector is a device. Now it has got a heating coil, so it heats up the surrounding air. So this heating element or the coil heats up the surrounding air and makes it light. You can make a guess when it is heated up and it becomes light, what happens? It will rise. The hot and light air rises upwards in the room and the cold air from the room comes down and gets heated. So the cold air enters the heat convectors, it gets heated and it rises. This is how a heat convector helps in maintaining the room temperature. The heat convectors are generally used during winters to warm up the air in the surrounding. To show convection in liquids, drop a few crystals of potassium permanganate at the bottom of a beaker or a flask of water. So potassium permanganate, these are purplish colored crystals. So they are dropped at the bottom of a beaker or a flask of water. Now you are heating the beaker with a little flame just below the crystals of potassium permanganate with a small flame. So the next step is you are heating the beaker. Then what happens? Because of the heat, the purple streaks of water rises upward and fan outwards. So what is happening is the purple streak, because of the heat, the purple streaks of water is rising up because it has gained the heat. It has become light. So it is rising up. So this is another activity. This is another activity to show you with respect to the convection. Before that, we will study about convection currents. Streams of warm moving fluids are called convection currents. So warm moving fluids are nothing but convection currents. And convection can be considered as a process of heat transfer in which heat is transferred from a hotter to a colder part by the actual movement of molecules in the substance. So here, since it is happening in the fluid, we see that the heat transfer is taking place by the actual movement of either liquid or a gas. It is the matter that is moving. Convection in air. Usually black marks often appear on the wall or the ceiling above a lamp. If you would have noticed, usually dark spots appear on the wall or ceiling above a lamp. They are caused by air containing dirt and dust being carried upward by convection currents produced by the hot lamp. So what is happening? The hot lamp is heating up the air around it. The air around it has got dust and dirt around it. So when the air is getting heated up, even the dust and the dirt is rising up, because of which we see there is black mark of that appear often on the wall or ceiling just right above the lamp. Next, activity 5 to show convection in air. So here we are taking a wooden box and we are attaching 2 glass chimney right above this wooden box. There's a lighted candle that is placed below one of the chimney, and there is a paper. So what happens when we heat the paper or burn the paper? When we burn the paper, the smoke is released. The smoke enters through this chimney and it gets heated up by the candle and it rises up again. So the smoke enters the chimney and it gets heated up by the candle and it rises up in this glass chimney. So what do we understand? A smoke gets heated, it rises up the chimney due to convection. If it was not heated, then we wouldn't have seen the same result. The smoke would have spread or it would have got settled down in the wooden box itself. Since it is getting heated, it is rising up the glass chimney because the warm air is lighter, so it is rising. So direction of convection current is shown. See, it is going down and then it is rising above. Convection currents in nature. Coastal breeze. Now how is this coastal breeze formed? During daytime, we see land gets heated up more quickly than that of sea. So land is getting heated at a very faster rate, because of which the hot air rises above the land. So the air above the land rises. Then since it rises up, the cold air from the sea is replaces it. So as the warm air is rising, suppose this is a land and this is the sea, we see that the air above this gets heated and it rises, and the sea, the air right above the sea is cold and it is heavy. As this rises, we see that the cold air occupies a space below. So this is what is happening during the daytime. During night time, you can guess it is happening the opposite. Sea has more heat. The air above the sea gets heated up and the air rises and the land breeze blows. That means the air is moving from land to the sea. This is about convection current. We will study about radiation in detail in the next class.